Not going well for me, I tell you that. I just got a question. I'm the only one that sees what's going on in the White House. Am I the only one who sees this presentation of immaturity and lack of communications, plus a theatrical play with media? People have gotten so. What's going on, Country Hustle? Um, if you don't really want to get a little too controversial, y'all might not want to be in here. Because I'm gonna tell you before we get shut up, I'm gonna tell you like this. I really don't know what to do no more, because it's like we sitting here and we just bobbing our heads to the beat and we watching stuff just unravel. And you see millions of people. And I think about the multiple world wars and all that good stuff, and then they tell you fight for freedom and fight for all of this and fight for all that. But you getting a clear vision of how immature, power hungry people that want to look good and get a lot of pats on the back, but won't none of them go to the front line, won't none of them do like what they said George Washington did and all the other ones that fought in battles, that fought in wars. They sit in they big old nest on top of the hill, on top of the mountain. If they did come over here knocking across the water, they wouldn't be here. They'll have them tucked away somewhere nice and private. They have a full military people willing to lay down their life for some ego tripping foolishness. That's what we came to, fam. And we loving these views and we loving this media that so much that we ain't even rationally thinking. It's almost, what it remind me of? It remind me of back in the days when you had a crew of cats. And they were a little bit bigger than you. They liked to fight. They ran together. They hung out together. And they'll go from one side of town to the other side of town, or one little neighborhood to another neighborhood. But then they'll turn around, right? And they'll get this one little guy. He got a little clout. He about the life. He really ain't about that life. And they wait. They won't get him face to face or man to man. They'll wait till they got their gang, and then they'll get them, they'll corner them, and then they'll kind of bully them and put pit against them. And you feel like you strong. You feel like you got it together. You won't never go to the west side of town. Won't never go to the south side of town with some real dogs out there. But I don't know. I'm just saying, fam, yeah, I shouldn't release right here, but I gotta release something because, bruh, I don't know if you noticing, but we building something up, something cooking in the pressure cooker, and I'm telling you, it's hot. And we're gonna be needing to think about not only growing food, but protecting ourselves, making sure that we good, because I've never, even at a job or anywhere, whenever you take on a position of leadership, or anytime you fill a role with a job and you're in leadership, you don't go no pointing no fingers. You work for the corporation. You for the corporation. We stand by the corporation. Even though the corporation probably made bad moves or made bad decisions, you don't point fingers externally. You might point a finger behind the scene. But then when you get company or you invite company over, you don't sow dissension amongst each other. Like old boy said, he been screaming this stuff since what, 20, what, 2019, right? Or 20 whenever. But he said he been through all of y'all presidents, every one of you. And none of y'all has stopped it to this point. And now we done lost all these people and we have killed and murdered all these people. And now the agreement is basically what he didn't want to agree to the beginning. And then now you gonna boss him in that situation? I just imagine the same thing that he going through. Some of us gonna be going through. And like he said, it's gonna spread, it's just gonna go bigger and bigger and bigger. And if we don't see that, something wrong, fam. Something wrong. We done let the what they call it? We done let the mongoose out. And it's just going all around. They're just biting off heads. And when the smoke when the fires get to cracking, people gonna get to disappearing. The ones who kicking all the dust. All the ones kicking all the dust, you ain't gonna see them nowhere around. That's just the bottom line, fam. I wish I had something more inspiring to tell you, but I want to tell you, get ready. Tell your kids to get ready. Because how in the world is that even any level of professionalism, leadership, everything that everybody has learned? How is it that you're gonna be, quote, a peacemaker, and you don't put a dog in a corner, and you got bats and you got everything in there, and you got your Game Boys and everybody in there, and no, he ain't got no backup, no nothing. And then you put him up there, make him defame him, make him look for whatever reason. How you gonna give all of that money, all of them resources, all of that stuff to support him and speak highly of him multiple terms, and then you're gonna fold on and say you're a peacemaker? You ain't no peacemaker. All you doing just say, hey, I'm gonna look good. I'm gonna get a bunch of media around here. We already playing. We're gonna play good cop, bad cop. Man, I grew up like that, good cop, bad cop stuff. Vice president played bad cop and he played good cop. And then he gonna come in hard and authoritative. But he now, at his weakest point, at his lowest point, he's been valiant. He's been strong. Him and his crew been holding on. But think about all the lives and all the people. And we playing jokes, fam. Joking and laughing and kiki-king. And millions of people gone. Just wipe them off. And like I keep telling you, these people don't care nothing about you. You ain't even a number no more. They don't care nothing about you. The same thing that happens across the water can happen right here. And I'm telling you, it's just one of them things where we got to wake up. We got to really wake up. And we got to stop pointing fingers. We got to start jumping from side to side. And we just got to call a spade for what it is. It don't matter what a spade is. It got red on or what a spade got blue on. These people they playing with a lot of everyday people's lives. And for some reason, we ain't brazen enough. We ain't united enough. I don't know what it takes to do it. But somewhere, you gotta put some brakes on this. Because who gonna suffer? Man, these cats ain't gonna suffer. They're gonna be so far away wherever the heat is at. These cats ain't even been there. Out of one term, two terms, and then they speaking, talking about what they seen on TV or on the internet. And they making the decisions? What's going on, Dog Creed? I know this. I'm on here to rant just a little bit. I'm on here just to rant. I'm finna jump off, but this kind of situation like this, fam. And we talk about gang members. We talk about all the gangs, and they look at certain cities and they talk about how could they do this and how to do that. Look, they call them thugs and they call them all of this. Man, what's the difference between turf wars? What's the difference between somebody wearing this and somebody wearing that? You mean to tell me, for instance, say if my mama or my brother do something in my family, I ain't got nothing that's just say not the best choice. And then now we invite somebody over for a peace deal. I'm gonna start pointing my fingers and show our weakness and show that we're not one. You can't use the same phrase America and American and what America has done. You can't say what America has. This ain't about you, dog. You represent the people. All of y'all are supposed to represent the American people. You in this office to represent us. It don't matter whether coach, we had a different coach last season, we had another coach 2 seasons ago, and we had the same coach that we got now. Because this has gone through 3 presidents. Now one of them on another term. It's the same war. This ain't no different war. He's been the same cat in the midst of the war, throughout the war. But somehow they over talking him, and he giving you a history lesson, let you know, look, all this talk, we been wanting to seek peace. They broken the ties, they did all that. And then you sitting there, you're over talking, but I keep telling you, every time you got a big loud mouth, anytime you got big loud mouth, listen to the ones that don't hardly talk and listen to the ones that can't talk. Get out your emotion, get out your feelings. Stop all this crazy stuff, because we're going to be the ones to suffer in every situation. Our nephews, our nieces, our cousins, our daughters, our sons, they going to feel the wrath. Same people, they got them over there. They got daughters, they got nieces, they got all that. And we get a few people. It's amazing. Man, we supposed to be so intelligent, but we let a few people control billions of people and decide whether billions of people live or die. Something got to be wrong with that. You can't even act that way at the job. If I had a coworker, and if I said, just went off on the coworker, out talking, loud talking, this and that, and then they lie to your face, said they ain't loud talking, they didn't raise their voice, it wasn't aggressive. Just because you say all due respect, or just because you say, come here, or could you please come here, that don't mean you ain't saying it aggressively. You over here in the house. You ain't over there in his house talking like that. You ain't over there in his territory talking like that. You bring, and I guarantee they made sure he ain't bring no crew. That's why when you're dealing with thugs, you better roll with a crew, fam. You better roll with a crew, because there's no way in the world. What's up, B Rich? What's going on? I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it really shows us. And they talk about incompetence. It shows you, how could somebody be so hungry for power? Because they got financially everything they ever wanted. All they want to do is live right in the books of a legacy. They got a falseness of strength. Ain't no way, if anybody had anything dealing with the streets or dealing with siblings or anything, ain't no strength in none of that presentation. Wasn't no strength. The only strength was they had the turf and they had the media supporting behind them. You got a cat heckling that shouldn't even been in the room. He should have been screened and kicked out the room, heckling and disrespecting another country tradition that we done spent billions of dollars with, that we supported for multiple years across multiple leaderships. And you sitting in here, you clowning, when right now, as we speak, people getting put down every single second, every single day. And they trying to live an ordinary life. But see, we ain't felt it. We don't know nothing about that. Now, some of us, the closest we do have, if we in the midst of maybe a turf war or something like that, but they dropping everything, bombs, and we ain't talking about no sticks or nothing. We talking about real war. And just like he said, it's getting stronger and stronger, and eventually it's coming knocking at your door. And by that time, them cats gonna probably be gone, kicked out of here, and our grandkids and our kids gonna have to pay for the sins of what's going down, just for likes and just for, I bet this gonna look good on TV. I bet this gonna look good. Oh, we're gonna crush the CNN. Are you serious? Are you freaking kidding me? And if it wasn't for me, and if I wasn't this and I wasn't that, and the great this and I'm the great that and I'm the great this, are you freaking kidding me? How great you was before when you was giving them firepowers, them sticks. You gave him the sticks. Well, I gave him the sticks. He didn't do. You knew that man couldn't do that job, man. Just like you 6'4" and he 5'3" or 5'5", and you talking about him putting hands on you. You already knew. You already knew. You was sitting there saying, "Hey, at least they can do it without me being involved," because you'd already cut a deal behind the scene. It's so clear. It's so evident. He been cut a scene with old Pooh, man. Been cut the scene. Yeah, I get them. Yeah, we'll lose a few because none of these big high elites none of them don't care about everyday people, man. Y'all just numbers. We just numbers, fam. We just, hate the casualties. Well, it wasn't that bad considering what we had to do. Well, look at the amount of time, and look, it really wasn't that bad. And somehow we just don't believe that this stuff is real. Sometimes you gotta wake up. Sometimes it's not a nightmare. Sometimes this stuff is real. And you mean to sit here, I'm just talking about plain everyday negotiating, plain everyday interaction. Set the man up for failure. Then now you're making a mockery out of him. Then you wait now till once he tired and got his back up against the wall, then you break his alliances, then you break his support just to cut the deal that you set him up from before. You wanted him to walk into that fire zone and you knew he was out of power. But hey, he held it strong. He did better than you thought he did. You thought it would have been gone. But then here you are, weakest moment. Then you flip the script on him, and then you put the boo game on him, and you bring your dog out, and your dog out there try to huff and puff, but the dog ain't about that life. He really ain't about that life. He think he about that life, but he not about that life. Because he know he got protection. He know he got backup. But he got a big mouth. Very disrespectful. But with all due respect. With all due respect, your wife is ugly and she stink and she do this and that. Well, I don't care how much you put the words in front of words. I hear what you're saying. And it's not necessarily that I'm for or against, but say what you're going to do. Why put people's lives at stake, fam? Why put people's lives at stake? And why, when people need resources, they need their jobs, they need all of this, and you cook in the pot, and you stirring and cooking the pot. And while you cooking the pot, right, you setting this up. You setting it up. So what's really happening, fam, like I said before, they setting it up. They setting it up, and they trying to throw rocks and hide their hands at the same time. They ain't even good at it. If more people could take their emotions out of it, they ain't even good at it. This had nothing to do with emotion. Now, I'm just seeing it for what it is. Now, if I work for company ABC, and if my strategy as a leader or CEO of whatever, I might get away with 1 or 2 times saying, well, the previous CEO made some mistakes and this and that. But then after a while, that dog ain't gonna hunt. And the company ain't gonna care too much for you to be saying, well, that was such and such, and then that was another such and such. No, we all one. See, if you for the people, even when the people make a mistake, you take accountability. That's what leaders do. A leader say, hey, we chose this person. We chose this person. And yes, that was our leader. But I'm gonna bring a little bit change. But why you want to just, well, because of me, you just puff yourself up with hot air. No concrete, no sustainability. You really look silly. You really look uneducated, very immature. But without a doubt, like I said, one of the things that I look at is that people's lives are at stake. And it shows you that none of them are in your favor. I don't care which era, which party, none of this stuff is in your favor. And you're looking at this silly foolishness and these theatrical plays. How many theatrical plays have we had since since the starting of all of this? All of this stuff, it makes you question every single thing that happens. It makes you question the attempts. It makes you question this, that thing. If you can't tell me that wasn't a straight setup for that man to come over here, if you can't tell me that wasn't no plan, that's why they want to only have certain people in the media room. Because you can't tell me that some of them media cats, all they doing is kissing ass. If you ain't kissing ass, you don't get to talk, you don't get to say nothing, you don't get to do nothing. Oh, I'm strong. Get them out of here. If I come, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. Oh, this is the most open it's ever been. No, it's not. What it is I'm just for you. And if so happen that you're not for me, you're a problem. And I'm going to get rid of you. Where the free speech come in at? The man said multiple times, you brought me here to talk. You brought me here to talk, but you ain't listening to nothing I'm saying. And then they're going to say, you're going to try to use media to do. What did y'all did? Y'all already did that. This is nothing but a screen set up play. But the sad part about it, y'all in charge of people's lives. And you putting people out there, you're going to destroy organizations, you're going to destroy the country for your own personal power, your own ego, and just to get more money. And the sad part about it is people going to hate, people going to be battling each other, they're going to be caught up into their emotions, they feeling, they've been indoctrinated to just keep going and keep going and keep supporting and keep supporting. And then they're going to watch their aunties, their uncles, their children, and everybody going to slowly, somebody going to get touched, family. And then when they watch this happen, and you can't say, like for instance, I don't agree with slavery, even though it was our country, I'm still American. I'm not gonna sit here and point fingers. Y'all always say, don't every time people gotta bring up racism, gotta bring up racism. Why you bring it? You still American, you still American. But how you gonna bring up president? Well, this person was foolish. How many times we gotta keep hearing how silly, how incompetent, how stupid that the previous president was? Or they even go all the way back to Obama. They stop at Obama for some reason. They don't say nothing about the Bush and the Clintons. Well, they used to say about Clinton, but Obama was the savior for Clinton. But at the same time, they skip. Why they always skipping parties when they talk about the incompetency? Why you just can't be continuous when you got a continuous war? That don't make, none of this stuff ain't meant to make sense. It's all about ego tripping, period. This stuff don't make any sense because it's all about ego tripping. But the sad part, they in control. They in control of a lot of stuff. And they bullying their way through, and they don't care who knows it or who sees it. And every time we giving them more and more power because we not doing nothing, we not saying nothing. The people that's close around them, they quiet as a mouse. They not saying anything. We have no adults in control, no mature adults in control. We got old folks in control, but we ain't got no mature folks in control. Period. We have none. All we have is cantering and just media whores. That's all we got. Just media prostitutes. And they hungry for power, they hungry for likes, and they hungry for clouts. And I bet you that'll look good on TV. I bet you that'll look good on TV. Sick, boy. Just one of them things. Y'all be well, be blessed. I'm not gonna try my best not to do that no more. But it just, when you see certain stuff and you watch Where We Are, fam, there ain't no way in the world. Imagine me going to a job tomorrow and then they invite somebody from another corporation that we've been funding and giving money to, and then I go in there and a tyrant, and then I bring my boy from off the street, and then we both attack him, and we go get at him, and we play good cop, bad cop, and then we play into the media. And the whole time, they always were looking into the camera, eyes fixed on the camera, playing with it. But like I said, the sad part about it, other countries sitting back watching, and they sick of us. And I see why. They sick and tired of us, and I see why. And we spoiled. We real spoiled. It got so spoiled that we arrogant. Now I'm saying we because it's a country. It's not it's not one person. It's not a team of person. We're a country. So y'all that want to travel abroad and do all of this stuff, but you watching this clownery, be careful. Be careful. Because you might got a little water right now. You might got a little firepower right now. But there's other ways to do stuff. And I'm just saying, fam, we're going to have to move wisely. We're going to have to really understand that we letting some really powerful buffoonery lead us, this country. Because there's nowhere in the world you can tell me that's top class, the best class, professionalism, best class negotiation, best class leadership. Damn sure ain't no peacemaking. Only thing that making peace is whoever got the big guns. And right now, it definitely is not Ukraine. And what it is I set you up the first time. I gave you alley hoop. That wasn't no alley hoop. Ain't no way you can give by giving them money and giving them stuff. No alley hoop, right? Either you bring them in, you bring in your dogs and bring in your people, and put the boots on the ground and put some stuff in the air, or you set them up for failure. So that's what I say the play was. And guess what? It wasn't just this party. What I'm telling you, it don't matter who up there. And this guy right here, because his lack of experience with what it's called, what's the word called? Etiquette, or presentation, lack of professional presentation. A lot of people call it BS or politics. He just putting it out there. Because if you look at the timeline, we all the same country. No matter who was in that White House, we all one country. And they knew from the beginning that that country was not going to overpower. When he cut on that firepower, he said, man, I'm finna come back and tell you, we done regained, we got stronger, we got bigger. We were hurting. Russia were hurting at one time, but we re-strengthened, we rebuilt, and now we ready to go and paint that picture like we used to have, the USSR. And he gonna slowly creep on over there. And they build plans that last longer than we last. Just like the cities, just like the communities. They have a 100-year plan, 50-year plan, all of that. And all that was a theatrical play. Not just the day, but all them other years from all them presidencies before. When they supported, you can't support something that's so small and minute compared to the massive firepower and the overtaking that you know. All you doing is just say, hey, what I'm doing is I'm gonna give y'all a chance. You know, I send you a few Glocks over there. I send you a few this, a few that, so y'all can go at the war. But then they deep. He held a good fight. They didn't expect for him to hold that long. Straight up, they didn't expect for him to hold that long. But he held the ground, and I don't mean just him. I'm talking about his country. They held it. They held it good. They was putting it back, right? But guess what they did? They kind of pulled back on him. And money ain't what you need in war. Money helps, but you need that. When it comes to war, you need that. And then here it is where now you say, now since you kind of weak and I gave you a chance to go ahead and handle it, you ain't handled it. So either you agree to what was worse than what you didn't want to agree to in the beginning, or we're going to let hell's fury fire rain down on you and your people. And I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to say, man, that's the same thing they get when they put you in the booking room. You had a good cop, you had that bad cop. One of them will get off in your ass and be going off on you and just be, and then you be like, man, I ain't do it. And then you have another one be like, hey. All right. So what you gonna do? What you gonna do? You look. I'm trying to work for you. I'm trying to be on your side. I'm trying my best to be on your side and be with you. But, you know, you got to make a deal. You're going to have to make a deal. You're going to have to take this plea deal. What you going to do? It's either that or not. And you ought to be thanking me for putting together this beautiful plea deal. Telling you, you're going to be in a world of hurt. You don't take the plea deal. And we watching it play out. And you can't tell me that they didn't set him up for failure from the beginning. That was failure from the beginning. But hey, he didn't know because he trusted people. He was fighting for his people. And see, the thing is, well, we can't connect a lot of times because this is a melting pot. America's a melting pot. You see what I'm saying? If we were dealing with civil war between no, I don't even want to go there. I'm not gonna do that. But most of these countries, they from their own people. They own cousins. If you trace the lineage line, they like cousins, kinfolks. So we don't have that. One thing that's unique about America, you know, all the real natives, they about gone. You know what I'm saying? So this is not like a kinship. Some of us were brought in here not based on our will. Some of us stole in here. Some of us snuck in here. Some of us just invaded and came in here. And so we all like this melting pot. So we don't understand countries because I experienced that we are all one people. You go to Asia, we are all one people. You go to South Korea, we are all one people. You go to North Korea, you go to Japan, we are all one people. You go to Africa, we are all one people. And so somewhere you're gonna have some type of emotional connection to the part where you understand I gotta look for the benefit and best of my people. So we can't relate to that really. But here it is where you sitting here and you watching this thing unfold. And it's almost like a game, except it's lies. We the game pieces though. We the game pieces. And we still wanna just go about our day, we wanna make a little money, we wanna pay some bills and do this. And I just think about this is what we got that's controlling this whole country. Man, this is the best we got. This is the best we got. Even if you had to get a thug, this is the best thug we got. This is the best negotiator we got. This is the best we're gonna do. Man, that's deep. That's deep. What's up, Lisa DM? All right, y'all. I'm finna get out of here. I done said enough. It just disgusts me because I could see if this play, no one was harmed, and maybe it was just money exchange. I could see it was like a card game, no guns, no nothing, and then it just playing with money. And this is even worse than cutting benefits, fam. If this the way we move around from country to country and interact and do our little unions, you cannot keep screwing smaller countries and think, okay, long as you get alliance with a big country. So my question is, what countries do we have alliance with? I'm watching us really break down Europe. We breaking further away. What countries are our road dogs? What country do we really have alliance with, right? Maybe we got alliance with countries that we think the enemy, but they ain't the enemy. We just really helping them. Maybe we got alliance with countries that we think are against us, but that's all propaganda. Maybe we do give and support smaller countries, but it's so the big countries can overtake them and get big and powerful. Maybe, for all I know, maybe we already good with China, Russia. Maybe we just want to stay in the game and play. And maybe we setting up alley oops with all of them, but we playing the game, almost like the Democrats and the Republicans. And I ain't talking about all politicians, but I'm talking about on a higher level. Maybe just somebody I already know that we'll let them fight about this bill and about this and that, let them do all of this. Meanwhile, come on, let's go into the room and let's go ahead and have a conversation. Okay, we'll give you that, we'll give you this, we'll give you that. And then all the rest of them on the floor, they doing their thing and they ain't paying attention to what's really going on. Maybe we all been kind of fooled. Maybe we don't even know because we might have confident to keep severing ties, and keep reneging and doing this and say, oh, that was that administration versus that administration. But then when you look at it as a continuum, we still America. You can't play no games talking about, well, that was my brother, that wasn't me. Oh, that was my cousin. My cousin was over here running the ship. He don't know what he doing. He a scrub. But me, on the other hand, I'm the man. But we, as a family, you can't keep doing that. 1 minute we a family, next minute it's me. What is it? Is it you or we a family? Is it you or we a family? I'm just asking a question. Cause you confusing me. How in the world can you be in administration doing the same war and run it and give him power like he your homeboy and back him? And then you don't want to talk about it now. You bring him over to your house to talk about it. And then you say, and then you sick your dog on him because the dog was ready for some reason. You know, y'all think y'all a little meager and off to the side. But look, don't be slipping on the VP. You're a VP, man. Shut up and sit down. When a VP ran anything. That stuff is a witch hunt, fam. All this stuff, just like I even looked at when he was running for all of these different positions. He'll be doing all this scripted stuff, all this theatrical stuff. See through it, fam, because a lot of this stuff is set up, and they love the media because they media whores. They love it. And one good thing about them, they really can't hide no hands because they talk too much. They love the media. They love that media. But the sad part about it, other people watching, and they sitting back, and they quiet, and they waiting for the right opportunity. And by the time that right opportunity comes, it's going to be too late. And all I'm saying is, maybe some of our enemies, because this don't make any sense. This don't make any sense to me. So the only thing that does make sense is maybe we are being lied to, and we think that our opposition is really our partner. But as long as we can keep the people fooled to think that our opposition ain't our partner, we'll do little skits all over the world to show that we still beefing, but we ain't beefing. We really ain't beefing. We really partners. I can't even imagine, which I can, because it makes sense. It makes sense. If we have people that are not even from this country, that's running this country, and we got issues with other people from other countries, maybe for some reason, we might already be in the bed with Russia, China, India, all of that. Maybe we, as everyday people, are so caught up in bickering like racism and all that other stuff, or where you come from, which side of the aisle, or what this and that, and we know different between some of the ones in the White House that we think they got power and they don't have no power. And only a few have that power, and maybe the deal already been cut. Maybe the deal already cut. Because one thing I got out of that is that he said it started when Obama was in the office. You didn't stop it then, because I was listening to him when they were over talking him. He said, you didn't stop it when Obama was in office. And he kept saying, you all voted for him. And then he said, when you was in office, you didn't stop it. And then he said it again, and he said, then you said, he said, Biden didn't stop it, and now you here now. So what makes you believe you now? He was like, what makes me believe you now? And then we had a deal while you was in office, and guess what happened? He reneged on the deal after you left the office. So here it is, yeah, you cut a deal, and then when you left the office, they reneged on the deal. So I'm listening to all this. Then on top of that, He said, but I gave you power. I gave you power to take them. I gave you power to take it. I gave you an alley hoop to take it to the hole. And you on a court with a 8-foot giant, and you 5'3". I don't care how many shoes you give me. I don't care what kind of basketball you give me. I can't even see the goal. I can't even see the basketball goal. And I'm using basketball because I didn't never think I'd be thinking about people's lives and using that analogy. But they playing around talking about, well, won't be no CNN no more. What's that you wearing? What is that you wearing? We negotiating people's lives, people going to war, and you talking about you want to save, I want to save lives. I want to save lives. Go ahead. Great question. Great question. When you going to wear a suit? That reminds me, when you can't come to the Capitol with dreads. How disrespectful you going to be? Great negotiators, leaders. You don't respect. You ain't giving no respect. You got basic ass media people disrespecting a country leader, whether you like them or not. That ain't diplomatic. That cat should have been banned from all media. You got us looking like stupid fools. How is that any type of leadership or strength or anything? There ain't no way that's no leadership or strength. And you brought them over here to tell, like, either you take this deal, cuz, good cop, bad cop. You take this deal, cuz, you don't have no options. Telling you, you don't have any options. But man, I ain't did nothing. I ain't did. All I've been trying to do is keep my country, keep my people. And fighting for my people. And y'all backed me for decades. Well over decades. You backed me and supported me. And then now I'm hurting. And then this what they told him after he imagine how humbling that is. Imagine how humbling it is that you over here, and he knew he probably was being set up. He didn't even have his boys. Most countrymen have his boys all around and have different stuff like that. They had this young man translate. He at his weakest point. This dude is at his weakest point. I will end the war. Hell yeah, you gonna end the war. The man back up, and now you finna pull out. You finna pull out. You damn right you gonna end the war. And I'm the great That ain't no damn negotiation. All you doing is like, we set y'all ass up. We set you up, dog. And then now we set you up. We bring you here to show you off just before we get rid of you. Now, I hope don't nothing happen, but something tells me the next thing happens, somebody might go missing after that happens. Because I'm telling you, I saw fear in that man's eyes. I saw some fear, and I saw defeat, but I saw something else in him too. I still saw pride in his country and what he believed in. I saw that. But I could tell that he'd been through a lot. He'd been through a hell of a lot. And these cats ain't even been across the water. I ain't even think these cats been across the water. These cats ain't even been over there. They ain't even been over there. And you coming strong arm like you know what you talking about. And that's almost like me talking about your garden or your household. And no, I seen it on TV. I saw it on YouTube. I know what be going on in your house. I know what be going on with you. I seen it. And you a leader? What happened to leaders that had to have military experience to run this country because you're over the military? What happened to the prerequisite of that? Have some kind of military experience. Oh, we need change. What kind of change we need? Well, you asked for change. Yeah, I asked for change, but I ain't asked for that change. You know, I ain't asked for that kind of change. So, I don't know. My thing is, fam, this is far beyond disgraceful. And I don't understand why because the media keep telling, because only certain media is able to just go widely abroad, and it seems like the ones that's against them, they all emotional, they all talking this, and they ain't doing nothing. And then they supposed to have power, they supposed to have influence, but then there's no intellectual conversation, and we are dumbing ourselves down minute by minute by minute, and we're accepting for pure pure ignorance to be leading. Leading what? Ignorance to lead what? And the sad part about it is our families are going to be impacted. And not only ours, across this world is going to be impacted. And they said it's too many of us. And now, one way or the other, we're going to make that happen. And remember, every single war, the economy is down. And everything, every time they go to war, when the economy starts to tank, it happens time and time and time again. And then we sitting here, we watching buffoonery. It's almost like, oh, they just sad. I mean, I can't even imagine saying how many times let's count the amount of time this cat said Biden, Obama, Biden, Obama, Biden, 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 I. What in the world? Don't you know this country it allows you to be who you are? Your wealth comes from people in the building, from residents rent to you. Don't you know you took an oath of the office for the people, by the people? Don't you know you are a servant to the people? You're a representative of this country, right? So you tell me, even if you had to go with that exchange, all right, media off, media off, media off, media off. Any leader would have handled that way better than that. But no, you wanted the media on. You wanted to show not only us, but you really want to show the world. And you want to show that you got power. And to me, people ain't stupid across the water. They might can't speak your language, but in no way whatsoever did that show power. It showed dominance, but it did not show true power. It really showed weakness. It really showed ignorance. It really did. And with that said, we're going to have to pay the price for other men's sins. We're going to have to pay the price for things that we didn't even say, we didn't even want to say, for things we didn't even want to happen. But we're going to have to pay the price for it. And they're going to be gone. They're going to be gone. If all this time you ain't even gone over there, you ain't even seen it, you ain't seen the bloodbath, you ain't did none of that, and then you look at all these other leaders, they be in the midst of the fire, they be here, they be there, going through the streets. It's about like the hurricane. You know the hurricane coming, right? So what we do, get the farthest way you go away from the hurricane, and the people that's saving people's lives, they on the front line, and they out there, and the people that emergency response, all of that, all the leaders, they get in a safe place, but all the emergency response, they stay out there in the midst of all that, and they work for them, the security, law enforcement, everybody, and then you got them in a safe place, and then what happens after security confirms everything good and everything's okay, you then fly over or fly in, then you wait maybe weeks or months, and then you drop in, then you do a press conference, then you do your little song and dance, and you're going to support and you're going to do that, then no one sees you again. And we watch it, don't matter what administration, don't matter what people, we watch the same thing happen time and time again. Now imagine your daddy did the same thing. Imagine if your parents did the same thing. Oh, it look like we're going to have a storm. We're going to leave you here. You hold it tight, hold it down, and we finna go get in our car and leave our kids here. And y'all do the best you can, and then we're gonna go. We're gonna go to a safe place, and we'll come back after the storm, maybe a week or two, or maybe a day or two after the storm, and then we'll survey it. We ain't gonna come back and pick you up, but what we're gonna do, we're just gonna look. And we say, well, that's your parents. But a parent is a leader. A parent is someone that says, I care enough for you, and I'm willing to put my life on the line for you to make sure that you were there. Now, look, law enforcement can do it. First responders can do it. And you worried about saving lives. But you ain't in the trenches. Soon as something go awry, you out of here. And when the dust clears, well, it's gonna take a while. It's pretty messed up. But we can rebuild. We got the money. We got the resources. We can rebuild. We will rebuild. And we'll be back by the time it gets real nice. And we'll check on y'all. That's a leader. That ain't no leader. That ain't no leader. All right, y'all. What's up, J3? What's up, Growing with Hudson? What's going on? Young people, this is a clear example of what leadership is not. This is a clear example of what bad negotiation, clear example of lack of integrity, clear example of weak people with power. Everyday weak people with power. They have to have situations like this to pump themselves up. And it's almost like you get a guy that never worked out, never been in a fight in his life, and he always wanted to be a fighter. And he sit down and he talk to a professional fighter, and he talk about how he used to beat people up at school. And his hands about the size of my pinky. His arms about the size of my pinky. And he just talk about how he used to throw people around and do stuff. But now he's 50, 60, 70 years old, and he's saying what he used to do. What used to happen is he got a little money, he got a little clout, and his goon used to do it. But that fighter don't see the strength in him, and the fighter is not impressed. But you talk about doing a fight with him, but he got the guns, and all you trying to do is put some hands on him. Is he really powerful? Is he really bigger and stronger? No, he ain't. He just got protection. That's all he got. That's all he got. He got a lot of mouth, a lot of protection. But who gonna pay the price? Who gonna pay the cost? Telling you, fam, these rich billionaires don't give a freak about you. And we're gonna have to wake up. We're gonna have to really figure something out. I don't know what we need to do, but we need to figure something out. Survival mode 100. And you're gonna have to do more than just growing you some food, fam. Because it's funny. When when it do hit the fan, they just gonna be scanning, seeing if you're American or if you're not. But yet we got a leader who's saying that was this person, that was that person, and the dude from his lens is say it was still the same country. It was still the same country, and we looking at him as weak and inferior. But he's giving you a call and to let you know that hey, other people watching, other people are observing, and when you try to start doing negotiation, they're gonna say the same thing you're doing to him. You might just do it to me. So how good is your negotiation skills going to be moving forward? That's cool with the big boys, but remember, a lot of the everyday small people are the people that feed you, that clothe you, provide resources, and all of that. And all of them ain't stupid, and all of them ain't dumb. And some of them ain't got to go through no relationship. It's just like a relationship with a man or a woman. If I seen you beating and dragging this girl, and then this girl see this, she ain't got to get in no relationship with you to realize that you might beat and drag her. It's some things you ain't got to experience. And if we can see that from this point of view, don't you understand that there's going to be other countries going to see the same thing? And we keep thinking we invincible, we can't be touched, and we can move as we want to, and we got this iron fist, and we will not play. The problem is, yeah, when all the stuff get popping off, and the strays get the mold wrong, most of the time the innocent people is the one to get got. It ain't the ones that started nothing. It ain't the ones that just kicked it all off. Most of the time, it's the innocent. And my thing is, if you're a leader, why would you want to move that way? If you got any type of clout or any type of leader or wisdom, it seems like if you live more than 50 years or more than 45 years, you should ought to have some kind of wisdom. And the worst thing that you can have is everybody around you agreeing with you and empowering you. The worst thing you can have is everybody agreeing with you, and that is dangerous. That is dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. I like him. I like him. Where you from? Where you from? I like you. Ooh, I like your booty hole. I love your glutes. I love your hair. Oh, you like my hair? Yeah, I love your hair, Eco. Oh man, I like you. I like you. Where you from? Well, Eco, you think about growing it out a little bit? Look, I'm not going to entertain that question. Can we get him out of here? Can we remove him? Can make sure he don't come back in here. Or the what they do is, where you are, where you from? I think that's an awful question. Then they catalog where you are, where you from. Then next thing you know, such and such is fired, and such was let go, and such. They won't do it. They won't open shoot it because they're weak. They're weak. But they'll put somebody go over there to go do it, and next thing you know, they terminate it. They gone. You're fired. Weak ass. All right, y'all. Take care.